What's going on, everybody? It's Nick with Us versus Herd, back in the saddle. So much I want to talk about today. And, I kind of thought that I knew how I wanted to start, but I don't really. So I'm just gonna hang out, see what's going on, let you know kind of what's going on. I'm probably gonna have to cut this up in quite a few different pieces for Facebook and stuff, and my hair is out of control. But anyways, I kind of want to let you guys know as a community where I've been, what's been going on. A lot of things. I would say that 2021 was a very, very, very challenging year, but also a very, 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 very good year in a lot of ways. And I kind of want to let you know what happened, why I was so inconsistent with YouTube, why I was so inconsistent with trading, why I was so inconsistent with just life, and there was a lot going on in the back end that I couldn't talk about for a lot of reasons. And so I just kind of want to let you guys know, I appreciate, I've been involved in the Discord and in the Facebook group, and I definitely appreciate everybody that's, supported UVH. I can't believe with how inactive I've been, how active everybody else has been, like in the community. Like the Discord is popping off. It's just, I have a great time hanging out with everybody in the Discord and trading with you guys and making money, losing money, that whole thing, But so if I'm a little rusty at this, is because I haven't done a video. My last video I looked was like December 1st, right? And the video was is the market topping out, and here we are. But what I want to do, I want to explain to you kind of what happened, and then I want to go over some trades. I want to look at the charts, kind of let you know what I'm trading, how I'm trading. I've been working on some automated trading. I've been trading some futures. I've been doing a lot of things just for myself. But let's start it out. Very first thing is that the main reason why I took a break is because YouTube got to be a lot, and I get it. YouTube is, basically YouTube is kind of like a job, and the way things were going with the meme stocks and the things that were going down, like the internet had so much toxicity, like you couldn't say anything that wouldn't trigger people. And you're like, hey, well, don't read the comments, don't do this. But at the end of the day, and I'm not like a depressed person. I don't have anxiety. I don't have I'm very blessed in that area. But when you're reading like hundreds of comments saying, diamond hands, you're stupid, you're dumb, blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't really get to me, but it's like, well, if these are the kind of people that are watching the channel, I don't feel very motivated to make content. I don't feel motivated like the people that were trading like AMC and GameStop. Oh yeah, AMC is going to 500. And I was like, and I don't sugarcoat it. What I do on this channel is I basically just tell people how I feel and how I view things. And that's the point of YouTube, right? Everyone has different perspectives. If you want the feel good, ape club, you're going to go to the moon type of vibes, that's not what we're going to do here. We're going to keep it realistic. We're going to say, hey, can we make money in this trade or not? Can we go long AMC at 100 or not, right? Can we go long GameStop at 500? And when you bring just common sense and your experience, and we have a lot of experienced people in the UVH community, it just kind of ruined it for everybody, and the people that were watching the video. There was a lot of good traders watching the video, but there was the amount of people that were watching the videos that just started trading like a week ago and are trying to teach people how to trade and tell you what to do, it's just annoying. It's just annoying. It's just like, get out of here. Like you literally started trading 48 hours ago and you think you know how the market works and you know how to short squeeze people just because you spent a couple hours on Wall Street bets, Like that's not what I want to do YouTube for. What I want to do YouTube for is to invest in the UVH community. I want to have realistic expectations, right? Realistic expectations. Like, you lose money on trades. I lose money on trades. I don't win 100% of the time, and that's part of trading. You have to know how to lose. And, and for years, I've shown my losses, right? And just because I show losses doesn't mean that I'm a bad trader. It just means I'm a realistic trader. If there's a lot of people on YouTube that are like, oh yeah, I haven't lost in 100 days or 200 days. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's true, but it's very unlikely you haven't had one loss in a year. I mean, that's kind of what happened. What was it, like the Jason Bond people and all that? And there was just so many scams going around, with the way the stock market was going, the frenzy, the euphoria. I mean, there were so many scams. There were so many scams going away. And YouTube just became a place where it's kind of like what Twitter is now. Twitter is just like, you can't even really go on Twitter right now, right? And so that was the first reason. I feel like now that the stock market has flushed out a lot of people, it's a good time to come back into this. You know what I mean? Like, what do you guys think? It's a good time. I mean, I think that, the points that I was trying to prove, and the thing is, like, when we're speculating on the market, we're not saying, hey, this is what's going to happen right now. Obviously, like, if AMC or GameStop or stuff's ripping right now, what we try to do is where it's going to go, because that's how we make money. We don't make money right here, right now. We make money and say, hey, what's it going to be tomorrow? What do you think is going to be next week? What do we think about why is the market reacting right now to the Fed raising rates? The rates haven't been raised right now. Why is the stock market going down? Because we think we care about the future. We don't care about right now. And that's like, it's unfortunate, but if you go to zero, it's your fault. It's your fault. 100%. It's not the Fed. It's not Biden or Trump. It's not your paper hands. It's because you don't know what you're doing. And it's okay. Sometimes, I mean, there's big YouTubers out right now that are saying, I don't know what I'm doing. I blew up my account. And that's okay. At least they're honest, right? They're like, I don't know how to trade this. There's been so many people on YouTube and Twitter, there's so many Twitter accounts that had like 100,000 followers that deleted their account. There were so many people on Twitter that show that, like, they don't know actually how to trade this market, and that's okay. Like, but you shouldn't lie to people and say, that's why the SEC is cracking down on all these like Twitter penny stock boys that are trying to pump and dump you, right? I mean, a lot of people don't think that I don't know what's going on, but I know what's going on in the atmosphere. I mean, I'm tapped in to the financial community. I know what's going on. I know what the atmosphere is. And, right now, I think it's a good time for me to bring the channel back, bring my content back, because I feel like now that we've had some humble pie, people are humble right now. And I want to help. I want to help people. I want to help people become better traders. I want to help the UVH community. I want to be an asset. I don't want to be a YouTuber that just is like, pumping stocks and saying we're mooning. Like, that's not what I want to do. And I want to be just kind of more relaxed. I'm going to be doing some more live streams. Next order of business. Early 2021. If you guys don't know, I also own a MSP in the Chicagoland area, which is a managed service provider, IT managed services. Okay. So basically, I own a company that supports other companies' IT. We're like, my company's basically their IT department. And I can talk about this now because everything with legal and everything is settled down. But I was in a partnership. I was a 50-50 partner in this other business. And the relationship wasn't going good for, all through 2020, really strained it. And then 2021, the relationship blew up, right? So went through a nasty divorce. Went through a nasty business divorce. It was crazy. It was crazy. There was lawyers involved. There's a lot of, there's money involved. There's, loss. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. So that blew up. I started a new company, new managed services provider company. I've been working on that really freaking hard. Really hard. And that's what I've been doing. That's kind of why I was like, well, YouTube, financial, stock market's kind of a mess with internet. I've still been trading. You guys see me in the Discord. I've still been trading, still been doing what I'm doing, but I haven't been focused on making content because I've been building also another company that I've been in the MSP space since I was basically 23 years old. I'm now 36. I'm 36 years old. I've been doing this 13 years. And really the goal for me for this is, like, you could have been like, oh, well, you could just shut it down. You could just trade. You could just do YouTube content. You can just do it. Sure, I could. But I feel like when you gave yourself 13 years to create something that wasn't there before, that you can't give up on that, right? Like you cannot give up on that. You can't give up. Like there was a point in time where I was waiting tables, right? I used to work at Starbucks. I used to be a barista at Starbucks, right? And I just had this pipe dream. Like, I want to own my own business. I want to do what I do. I don't want to do what everybody else does in terms of, going into work, sitting in the cubicle all day, clocking in, clocking out, wondering if you're going to get that 1% raise. Like, that life has never been for me. Like, corporate culture has never been for me. So, if anybody here has ever started a business from zero, and I mean zero, I mean like no funding, no anything. Like, you started a business from literally zero. It's probably like the hardest thing. Outside of trading, like, kind of like what Elon Musk says, if you're an entrepreneur, it's kind of like chewing glass, right? Like the reward is high, the risk is high, but there's a lot of pain. So I couldn't give up on that. So that's why I focused on, focusing on my customers, focusing on developing the business, getting it to a place where, there's automation in place. We can do a lot of things. And right now it's in a really good place, which is also a reason why I can come back to YouTube and start making content again. And I'm excited about that. Like, I'm excited about, like, it's very time consuming and very strenuous. Just always climbing. Like, I want to just relax, have fun, and, just enjoy my time. Just enjoy my time with you guys, the UVH fam. Trade, make money, build businesses. Like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. So 2021, the main reason why I was gone was market was toxic. This is the too long didn't read version. And I went through a business divorce, started a new company. Bada bing, bada boom. We back, baby. All right, any questions in the chat? I see Adele, Landlubber, Dominic, Matt, Chad. Jay Cush, Jay Sammy. How we doing? How we doing? Market today is taking the slow move down. Like we have like, and that's what they've been doing like every day. They've been at open. They've been shaking people out, get people to buy, and then they just rip it down. I mean, we got VXX at it's up 2% right now. Yo, JCam, how you doing? Working and listening here. What do you mean cubicle? I'm at McDonald's. With inflation, Big Mac's about to be costing 20 bones here. Big Mac is going to be thick. Going to be thick. Yo, Anthony, appreciate it. Yeah, we actually just celebrated 1 year in the new company just 2 days ago. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yo, we're getting a leg down here. Yeah, I made some money this morning. I essentially made, what did I make here? 800 on futures. And I kind of want to let you guys know why you're like, why a lot of people have been sending me messages like, why are you still trading? Why are you trading futures and not options? And the reason is I started doing this back in the pandemic, where I started trading futures over options because IV went through the roof and I was afraid of IV crush. And I wanted something that was more like trading shares, but higher leverage, right? And that's why I started to really get into, during the pandemic in 2020, March 2020, I started getting really heavy into trading futures. And then, the market was rallying, going slow. So then I just went back to normal options trading. Towards the end of 2021, I pretty much identify myself more as a swing trader. And one of the goals I set for myself in 2021 is like, hey, I want to get really good at day trading. I mean, swing trading is nice. Swing trading is fun. I make money on that. But day trading was always something that I personally struggled with. So I essentially wanted to day trade more, and to do that, I didn't want to day trade options, so I went to futures. So that way, if you have a futures contract and the stock is just sitting there, or the market is just sitting there, I mean, I've mostly been trading NASDAQ futures. You're not going to lose money to theta decay. You're not going to have so many things just getting in your way, right? So I started going in day trading futures. And it turns out I learned a lot about myself, and that's the thing about trading. Like you always need to kind of start leveling yourself up. Like if you get comfortable, that's when they come for you. When you get comfortable in the market, they start coming for you and they just say, "Hey, we're going to take everything you have." Nick over there, he's comfortable, he's printing. We're gonna go in after him, take all he has, because he's sitting down, he's relaxing, he's just trying to, he's not on guard. So in trading, it's like business. I'm always doing something that's going to challenge myself. So I took it on. It's like, hey, I want to get good. I don't want to just be like good at it. I want to be a great day trader. I want to be a great day trader. So that's why I started getting into futures pretty heavy, because I wanted to trade futures and I wanted to day trade. And it turns out I was making more money than I was like swing trading, So that is why I wanted to get into futures trading. And then in the meantime, let me share my screen here. I'm going to share. In the meantime, I've actually been working on. Basically, I've been working on putting my strategies into in terms of options, just trying to automate my options. Let me just show you here what I'm talking about. So okay, so let me hold on. Let me make myself a little bit smaller here. Get out of the way. Okay, so I've been working on Option Alpha's bot system. Now I'm not affiliated with them. I am just a regular guy trying to automate my options trading strategy. And if you go through, kind of what they have here, like some of the stuff, they actually have their own bots where you can have sample bots. You can do they have things like wheel strategy, iron condors, iron butterflies, iron whatever, and I would say 99, maybe 90% of the people actually are premium sellers on here. And I find that it's very hard to sell premium when volatility is way up, because some of these days we're going 2-3 standard deviations out right now. I mean, the market is literally insane. So I've been working on my bots here, and this debit spread scalper is down money. This was actually a template that they use. These right here, these bots here are ones that I've basically custom developed based on my strategy, right? So let me just look at let's look at, like, let's say for instance, we'll pick one here. So this is the put bot that I've been working on, and there's been some ups and downs, as you can see here. The P&L has been kind of going a little crazy. If you look at the call bot actually was down money a couple days ago, now back up money. So just trying to figure this out. But with the call bot and the put bot, just trying to bring balance right now. I mean, right now, as it says here, the on the overall count, the 35 delta call bot is up 27%, and overall, and this one, the put bot's up 86%. Basically started these, I'm just paper trading right now. I'm actually going to turn these live hopefully this month. But just, when you're automating your strategy, you want to make sure that you're making money, because otherwise your account's going to go to zero. But essentially, like, what I'm looking for here, and I'm basically looking for on the call side. So I basically have started to automate what I would normally do, or what I would normally do in terms of position. Right now, I am trading on this. I'm trading Qs, Facebook, AMD, SPY, BABA, IWM, NVIDIA, Boeing, and Baidu. I might actually change this. You can only add 10 tickers per bot. And the other challenge that I have is that you have to trade in 15-minute increments, right? So it really made you think, like, what you needed to do to be successful at this, because if you're trading on, like, the 1 minute time frame, you're going to struggle with the bots on Option Alpha. You're going to struggle with the bots because the bot only reacts every 15 minutes. It says here, this runs every 15 minutes to find new positions. This runs every 15 minutes to monitor positions. So every 15 minutes, it's going to scan if it should open a position, and then every 15 minutes is going to scan if it has positions, should it close them. Now, I do have some limitations here where it can only open up $2,000 at a time, and every day we can only do a maximum of 4 positions, and it can only have 2 positions open at one time. So you have control over this. But in terms of, like, and I'll go over the call side too, but in terms of what I'm looking for, like, so this is for the puts, and basically what it's trying to determine is if it should open up a new position. And if I'm looking here right now, if I don't want to open a put, if the stock price has increased 0.5% or more since a day ago. So I'm basically saying, hey, don't buy puts if Facebook's up 3%. Because one of the issues that I had was, basically, let me show you here on Facebook. One of the issues that I had was, sure, maybe like this is trending down, but you would actually lose a lot of money on the retracement, right? So sure, the downtrend is still here, but you start losing money on the retracement. So let's say Facebook was up 1%, 2%, 3%, or even 5%, like we've seen in the last couple of days, right? I don't want it to open up puts as it's rallying, because all it's gonna do is make me open it, and then it'll close it when it gets stopped out. Open it. So all I'll be doing is losing money. So I determined that, hey, if the stock is up 0.5% or more, don't open the position. I also have it so if the stock is below the 9 EMA and below the 5-day EMA, it will then open the position. If it's below the 9-day EMA and not below the 5-day, it's not going to open the position. It has to be both, because what I'm looking for is a serious trend. I'm looking for basically for it to not be choppy. I'm not looking for it to be between the 9 and the 5 EMA. Also, I'm looking if it already has a position. So this is saying bot has exactly one position with symbol. So this means is one of the issues that I had with the bot was it would open another position on the same stock. So I'm basically saying if you have a position on Facebook, don't open another position on Facebook, because that's what it'll do. Like, and the thing is, like, the one thing about programming this has really made me think about like the way that I trade and the way that, and it really helped me be more, I would say, because when you're programming a robot, it has to be mechanical. Like, it has to be mechanical. So I also have it set that if the bot last closed a position with the stock less than market 1 day ago, because what I didn't want to happen is if you open a position with Facebook and then it gets stopped out, I don't want it to go back in. So if it opened a position and then closed a position in Facebook, be done with that stock for the day. Come back tomorrow, because I know from my experience, when I keep hopping into trades, it's usually a losing scenario. It's usually a losing scenario. So it's like, hey, leave Facebook alone. Go trade AMD. You lost, or you made money. Great, keep the money, or don't lose more money than you already lost. Also, if the stock has earnings in less than 2 days ago, don't open a position. Don't open a position. And if all that checks out, right now I am opening up. I've just been playing with one contract just to make sure it's profitable. But basically, I'm in the expiration 7 to 15 days out, trading 35 delta. Okay. Now, what I'm looking forward to close the position, it's a little bit more complex. So it's basically going to repeat this. And this is if I have puts open, right? So all these things need to check out. Otherwise, it's going to close the position. And this is basically like my risk management. So if the position expires in less than 3 market days, close the position. Or if the symbol reports earnings in less than 1 market day, close the position. If the symbol, like if I'm swinging, if the stock has price increased again over 0.5%, close the position. That way I can keep my money. So if any of these return yes, as you can see here, I'm instructing it to close my position. If the price is below the 9-day EMA, it'll move on. If the stock is not below the 9-day EMA, let's say we gap up the next morning, it will automatically just close the position. I have a 35% stop in here. So if the premium goes down 35%, close the position. I was doing 50%, but that got a little bit too much. So I changed it to 35%. I might go down to 30. We'll kind of see. But if the premium is down 35%, close the position. And this is kind of where the bread and butter is if it hits 20% profit, trail it by 10%. So once it hits 20% target, the most I'm going to lose on this position is 10%. So if it goes up to 20% and then it comes back down to 10%, it will close the position. Now, if it goes up to like 90% and then comes down to 80%, it will then close the position. But if it keeps going up, I mean, I had one that was like 500% the other day because it kept like, we just had a trend day. It just kept going and going and going. So as long as it doesn't peel back 10% from its high, it's going to keep the position open. So if it goes up to 100%, it needs it to come back down to 90% profit to close. And you get, I mean, you guys are smart people. You get the idea. And it's pretty much the same thing for like the call side. Call side is pretty much the same thing except for looking for long. So symbol price has decreased 0.5%. It's exactly the same except for you basically flip the scenario. So doing this, I've been obviously these two accounts. I mean, right now I'm just doing the 35 delta and I'm basically the ones that I want to push into production are the 35 delta ones. Those are the ones I want to do. These other ones I'm not really looking to push in. I'm not looking to put in the debit spread scalper. I mean, I got this thing. This thing has just been bleeding major bags of cash. I mean, it made money for a little bit, and it's just been, it cannot win. So if you're an option alpha and you made the debit spread scalper, bro, this thing needs some work. It needs some work. Looks like a bot just did some stuff here. Nigga calls. Okay, so it just opened a position in Baba right now. Oh wait, no, it closed it. Yeah, close the position. Okay, so 35 nigga calls, just close the position. 35, so it actually, so let's take a look at what happened here. This one closed it an hour ago, which was what? 45. So you can actually, and the cool thing is, let's say for these calls, we can go into, this is an hour ago. We can go into the log and look. An hour ago was probably 9:45 then. So you can look here. No, it wasn't that one. It was this one. Okay. Yeah, so you can see like the decisions. You can see the nice thing with the logs, you can see the decisions that it made to actually close the position. So it ran through all the scenarios that we just discussed. And the reason why I closed the position is because this hit a high of 27% and then came down to 11%. Right? So that was a more than 10% trail or 11% trail. So we actually made, how much did we make on this one? Like 17%? Yeah. 17%. So it hit a high of 27% profit. I wish it would tell you on that other screen. So it hit a high of 27% profit, came down to 17.5 profit, and it closed the position. And meanwhile, this is running while I'm futures trading or doing other stuff. So, you know. So if you're looking into this, I mean, I'm like, again, I don't sell this. What I'm looking for is an easier way to trade, make more money. Obviously you want, whatever your strategy is, you want to obviously paper trade it. Make sure you're doing it. I mean, I actually had these are actually trading at 25 delta. So the regular naked puts and the regular naked calls, I actually have been running this since January 5th. And I made a lot of tweaks to it. Now this thing's coming down. However, I've kind of abandoned. I wanted to see how, if I didn't make any changes to this, and I'm comparing it between the 25 delta, the 35 delta. However, the 25 delta doesn't have basically all of the same automations. So I just wanted to see how it was, and surprisingly, it's still kind of hanging on there. I mean, it's still up. I mean, it's not doing as well. So I do think that's why I'm going to be pushing the 35 delta bot, because I do have a lot of other, basically a lot of other logic in there to tell it to basically keep its money instead of giving it all back. So that's kind of like the gist. That's what I've been up to. That's what I've been working on. Just been trying to make myself better, trying to be a better trader, trying to be a better dad, trying to be a better husband, trying to be a better friend. And just try to keep like, you know, obviously want to keep the businesses afloat, you know, us versus herd going, and just life. That's my rant. That's all I got. It's Friday. You know, we're just hanging out. This trend is not breaking. So what I'm looking at on NASDAQ, and I'll zoom in here. So this is what I've been doing. For me, for NASDAQ, and as you guys know, I've been mostly trading NASDAQ futures for day trades. Right here, every time it gets above the 200-day, so this purple line here is the 200-day moving average. It's got rejected here now 4 times since in February. So like for me, it's hard for me to go long when we're below the 200-day moving average. I mean, it's just like, for me, it just is. I don't know about you guys, but it's hard for me to go long. So I've been making some money going short, sure. But yeah, I mean, it's still go long. Right now, what's very telling, it rejected the 200-day and now it's under the 10-day moving average. The Fed is having, I tweeted about this yesterday and I put it in the Discord and Facebook group, where the Fed is actually having a closed door meeting on Monday. And I'm guessing, I mean, we don't really know, but we had the CPI came out 7.5%, which, I mean, we know inflation is up there right now. So they're having a closed door meeting. We'll kind of see what happens. I mean, are they gonna do like an emergency raise rate hike? I don't know. I don't know. But right now the market, I mean, what I'm looking at, who cares about the noise? Look at the chart, right? And everyone seems to think that we're going to be rallying back to all-time highs, but like for me, the longer you're below the 200-day moving average, the more likely that there's a major correction on the way. Sure. Do I believe we can rally? Sure. I mean, bear markets have massive rallies. And we've seen it already. I mean, this was a nice rally here from, 13.8 up to 15.1, 15.2. Gave it, it hasn't given it all back, but it's not, I mean, right now it's not looking strong. I mean, it's not looking strong. And, everyone's like, as soon as you see a green candle, it's, oh yeah, it's a bounce. Like right now it is a short the rip environment. Sure, if you want to start stacking and averaging your long-term portfolio, do what you need to do, right? Do what you think's fit. But for me, as a trader, I'm trading what I see here, and what I see here is we have NASDAQ rejected. Right now, NASDAQ has rejected the 200-day moving average 4 times in February and is now below the 10-day moving average. We were coasting above it, but now we're below. Could we have a reversal? Absolutely. But we need, what you don't want to have is start having some death cross here. And what I mean by death cross, if you don't know what a death cross is, when the 50-day, which the 50-day is this yellow line, the 50-day is coming down to the purple line, which is the 200-day. So if the 50-day crosses the 200-day, then it's gonna have a death cross. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the market's going down, but you know that, I mean, that's not a good thing when the 50-day is going to cross the 200-day to the downside. Carmine, yes, I am pushing that out. As you can see, I'm getting back into content mode. There's going to be an update to the UVH Academy for futures. Also, there's going to be an update to the UVH Academy pertaining to day trading and risk management. So there's going to be more than just futures that I'm going to be adding to that. So there's a lot more that I'm going to be pushing out for the people that are in the academy like yourself. So that's what I'm looking at right now in terms of the market. I mean, I'm not looking to get long. I'm not looking to short it to zero, right? All I'm looking for is to trade the trend and take my money and leave. And as you guys see, like in the Discord, when I post my profits, I mean, that's all I'm doing. I'm just getting in for a very short time, taking my money, zeroing out, making sure I'm zeroed out before the end of the day, trying to relax, whether I make money or lose money that day. Try to zero out. Don't try to hold overnight. Because like in this market, I mean, you don't know. Like we had gap ups and we had a major gap down. And then I mean, right now we actually opened flat, and this thing is just dying. Right now we have slowed down a lot, but if we're looking at VXX and looking at VXX, steady uptick here as this is having a steady downtick. Apple's relatively flat. Microsoft's kind of flat. I mean, the ones that got hit hard today, like AMD took a beating, down 5.5%. Nvidia right now, Nvidia is down almost 4%. AFRM is down 16%, and that is after the fact it went from yesterday 83 to 53 because some moron leaked the earnings on Twitter, right? But at the same time, you can't, people, I was looking on Twitter, a lot of people were very mad about AFRM, right? About that being leaked. But bro, if you're trading this close into earnings, you got to be able to expect anything can happen. If you're holding something, I mean, this thing didn't come out till the afternoon, like Power Hour, right? Like right before Power Hour, didn't come out. Like if you think, if your calls went to zero, like that's your fault. Like why are you holding it to the end, man? Like, and let's be fair. If you were holding calls hoping for a big payout, just because something went down doesn't mean it's going back up. Yes, this went down. Like that's everybody's strategy these days. It's like, oh, this used to be a $200 stock. Now it's $25. It'll go back up. Will it? AFRM in November hit 176. This was not even a year ago. 176. Now is 48.86. So I think a lot of people are finding out in trading, and we're going to talk about this a lot on this channel. Your strategy cannot be if something goes down, it's going to go back up. That's not what we're doing anymore. That's not what we're doing anymore. Let's take a look at Netflix. Another good example. Netflix. It went from 700 to 350. 50% off. Everyone's like, oh, it's 50% off. Yeah, well, have you seen the stock 80% off? 90% off? I mean, a lot of people didn't live through the dot-com bubbles or the 2008 recession. And that's okay. Like you're not going to have that exposure. But what you can do, go back in time, because we have all this data, look at the charts before those bubbles happened, right? And now we have, the biggest issue right now that we have is inflation. And that is going to, but everyone's like, oh, they're going to be raising rates. Everyone's like, okay, well, Netflix will raise rates, McDonald's, Starbucks, you name it. Everyone's raising rates. Microsoft, Amazon, everyone's raising rates. Prime's going up. But all that does is provide less buying power to the American, right? So Americans have less buying power, which means their revenues are going to go down. Which means their stock's going to go down. And everyone's like, well, earnings are still good. Yeah, last quarter. What about next quarter? What about the one after that? I mean, and the thing is, like, bear markets and stuff like that. And if you talk to, I mean, I definitely encourage you to talk to traders that lived through or traded through like 2008, 2000, 2001, 90s, all like good times, bad times, and in between. Find some traders. And a lot of them, I'll be honest with you, a lot of them like to tell stories and they like to invest in young people. Talk to them and be like, hey, what was it like in 2007? What was it like in 1999? What was it like in 2001 or 2000? What was it like in 2005, 2015? What was it like? Right? And what you'll find is like the grind down, I mean, sure, we're moving fast right now, but it could be a slowly painful process to the bottom, which could take a lot of time. So I'm not trying to like scare anything. I'm just trying to be realistic where if you're having a 50% correction, possibility is going to be high for more. You know, everyone got excited when 350 to 450. We had like a dead cat bounce, but now Bill Ackman clenching cheeks, bro. Like he's like, I mean, made a wrong move, right? Now I'm not saying like he's got a very long-term hold, but just because a big trader goes in, like Bill Ackman or Warren Buffett or Kathy Wood, doesn't mean they're right. And their time frame may not be your time frame. As a small retail trader, our time frames are often very short because we don't have the capital to hold on as long as they do. Nor do we want to. And we're not managing clients' money, we're managing our own money. But yeah, Jason, Facebook, I mean, Facebook, I think, is a very a heartbreaker because in a lot of ways, you know, we had a steady uptrend for a while, and then when you look to see here, we kind of had consolidation. Sure, it was kind of starting to get topped out, but consolidation's good. Consolidation is good for long-term markets. But wait, Facebook reports like, hey, we actually had a decline in users. It doesn't matter how many billions Facebook made. If their platform is declining, we're looking towards the future, right? We're not looking at what happened in the past. So if they're losing users to TikTok, their profits are going to decline over time. The revenue is going to decline over time. And it's why they made a big stink about like, oh, hey, we're not Facebook, we're Meta now. Because the writing is on the wall. They know what's happening here. They're not dumb. But when they have a big machine like this, they can't like maneuver it like you can like a small business or something. You can't just automatically pivot and be like, oh, we're going to turn Facebook into something else. Because they still make billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars from Facebook and Instagram. It's not like it doesn't make money. It's just not making as much money as it was before. And they're going to still make money, just maybe not as much money as they did before. Maybe TikTok is going to make more money than them. You know, maybe, who knows? Maybe something else will come out. Snapchat. You know, Snapchat actually did pretty good, right? Maybe Snapchat will try it, but I mean, Snapchat's looking rough too. However, I mean, they did perform better on earnings, but yeah, it's just not going well. Yeah, PayPal. I mean, PayPal, it's a massacre. You're like, I don't understand why they're not doing good. Square. So, I mean, our strategy cannot be because something went down. Like when Square went from 289 or 200 down to 180, everyone's like, oh, I'm going to buy it. Nothing but pain. Nothing has happened but pain. It does look like, every time it looks like it leveled out here, more pain. Looks like it's leveling out here, went sub 100. I don't know. Like right now, I think we're very early in a cycle where, you know, we're potentially going to have more pain ahead. I mean, Robinhood, like, I know Robinhood is not a good example, but IPOs, I mean, this thing hit a penny stock a few days back, and it's barely hanging on. Barely hanging on. DraftKings. I mean, you have weed stocks. I mean, we're in a mess right now. I mean, Amazon bounced hard, right? But bro, it does not look good. Does not look good. Does not look good. I'm not trying to make a case for the bear or anything like that. I'm just trying to show you how I'm looking at the market right now. I want to rally and recover, but the odds are against us. Unless you're Sylvester Stallone, I mean, it's going to be a tough time. It's going to be a tough time to fight back here. I mean, this could be bad. This could be bad. And so far, as of today, which is what? February 11th, 2022, the Fed has not lifted a finger to rectify anything, right? They have not raised rates. They're still pumping the market with their money. So we're going to have, I think 2022 is going to be a violent year to both sides, upside, downside, but we're going to probably go down more. Then we roll into 2023. And do you guys know what happens in 2023? Election season starts. Election season is going to start in 2023, and we're going to, I'm thinking it's going to be the Trump and Biden show again. Because it appears Trump is ramping up. He's launching his own social media thing this month or next month. Truth Social. Because he's still banned on Facebook and Twitter. So it's gonna be insane. 2023 is gonna be insane. We're gonna have Trump going up against Grandpa Joe, and it's gonna be the battle of the senior citizens. I mean, these guys are hitting 80. One more election, they're at 80, right? How much gas you got in the tank at 80? So we got the old guys slugging it out, fighting for our democracy, fighting for our future, and only one can win. So 2022, we're going to be choppy. 2023, we got election season. 2024 is, the election. So, meanwhile, the Fed is going to be trying to control the inflation fire, going to be trying to control everything that is going on right now. Get it under control. But right now it's out of control because what's happening is inflation's going up. They're like, oh, wages are going up. Yes. But then everybody else, like, Starbucks and Microsoft, Amazon, they're raising rates. It's an endless cycle. Wages go up. Prices go up until you have a hyperinflation issue, and that's what they're trying to control, even though they have not lifted a single finger yet. They're I think, I honestly think Powell has been in denial, and that's just my personal opinion. I think Powell has been in denial. He's just I think it'll fix itself. Because we've had inflation for a year. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Oh, 7.5% highest since 1982. Shoot. Okay, sorry, I messed up. But once you get up there, it gets harder to control. It's better. They should have tried to do something when it was 3, 4, 5. Now we're 7. After 7 comes 10. I mean, you get the idea. we're getting effed up here. And it's just gonna be a lose. It's gonna be a losing scenario for what? So stop me because what market? Yeah, I don't care. I make content when I want to make content, bro. This is what it is. This is the transcript link to UVH, Adele. I don't know. So, that's kind of where we're at right now. That's kind of where I see the market. I think we're gonna have a good time though. We're gonna have a good time. UVH is gonna have a good time. I'll stop ranting. This was a major rant. Gonna chop up and try to help some people out. But you guys have a good weekend. I'm gonna sign off here. See what we do. See what kind of content we push out next week. As always, stay safe, stay strong. It's us versus herd.